The bronze training for the Genesis CE program. Just gonna go ahead and get logged back in here. This section of the training is going to be on the patient chart, which is this module here with the tooth and the red lines behind it. We're gonna go ahead and double click. All right, so we are here in the patient chart. First off, we want to be able to look up patients. So this little person here with the arrow is the select patient. You can click there and it's going to pull up several different options on how to search a patient. So you can search by last name, first name, preferred name, date of birth, just a bunch of different options here for you. You can also do an advanced search if you'd like. I usually like to keep it at just a search by. This is simple, but it has enough information that you're usually able to find what you need to know. Down here at the bottom, I'd like to keep this selected so that you can see patients that were archived just in case they're coming back to the practice. So we're going to go ahead and look up a patient here. So I'm going to access this patient. A lot of you will have this clinic or my clinics, which you can select to see whatever clinic you're in. That's the patients that'll display. Some of you will have all clinics. So that patient has populated here. It lists the doctor's name, the clinic name. So we're going to go ahead and double click into this patient's chart. Now when you open a patient's chart, this will always populate the medical history review. If you're just looking at the patient's chart for necessity and other than seeing the patient, you can just go ahead and hit cancel. If you're actually seeing the patient, you do need to review the medical history, which is here. There's no changes. If there's anything that's in the patient's chart, it will populate here, but there's no changes. Just go ahead and click no change, and then if there is a change, you can click change. And when you hit OK, it's going to bring you into the medical alerts where you can update the patient's medical things. We'll go ahead and go over that more in depth later on. This also, whenever you hit OK and you're moving forward, does start your clinical note, which we will show more in future videos. So go ahead and hit cancel so we can get into the patient chart. Some basic information that you will need to know is the chart paint types. So anything you see in blue here is treatment that has been performed by one of our providers inside the Genesis organization. So anything in blue was done by us. Anything in red is treatment that a Genesis provider has recommended for this patient. You'll see here some green, that is existing. So if the patient had gone somewhere else and had treatment done, it would show up in green in the patient's chart. These W's down here are what we call conditions. These are actually tagging watches in this patient's chart. Down here in the bottom right section, this is what populates into this little information box below. Right now I have selected treatment plan, which is the red, and completed, which is the blue. If you'd like to see more, you can go ahead and select existing and conditions. It's going to add those in here so you can see that the watches, when they were placed and by what doctor, and then also the existing treatment when it was entered in. You can also add exams, clinical notes into this section. I like to keep it super simple, but go ahead and customize this to however you would like to view it for yourself. That is just the basic overview of the chart. Thank you.